Okay, off you go.
Start to wear longer skirts.
Yeah, long skirts, nobody knows.
God, you're good at that.
Right.
Okay, take it away.
So, good evening.
Good evening.
On cold winter nights like this one, I'm sure everyone is thinking about summertime and what they're going to do with those sunny, long days. And I think a lot of us think about beaches, sitting still somewhere, sipping a nice cocktail maybe, but not all of us think about getting really active, and maybe it's not that appealing. But I would like to talk to you about a very active but very luxurious holiday. And that holiday was in Italy. And I'm going to talk to you about it. I'm not Italian, but I'm going to talk to you about it because I spent last summer doing this holiday. And very specifically, I'm going to tell you why I think you should go on a cycling holiday from Innsbruck in Austria all the way down to Venice on the coast of Italy. And I think what I'd like to do is talk to you about the journey first, and then a little bit about the food en route, because we're talking about Italy and food is everything in Italy. And then I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about the feel great factor of cycling across Italy. So starting off with the journey. As I said, started in Innsbruck, and actually if anyone's not flown into Innsbruck, it's quite a beautiful thing. You come in between valleys, and your plane gets lower and lower, and you're following the shape of the valley, and you're surrounded by these beautiful, beautiful mountains, beautifully green, very lush, and waterfalls and things, and it's just a really special thing. You feel like you're arriving on holiday somewhere different, especially if you're coming out of the big smoke of London. After Innsbruck, you collect your bicycle, and you start cycling. Now, I don't know how many of you know the geography of Italy and Austria and the borderlands, but there are some big mountains. And as you can see, I'm not really someone who is lycra-clad and fast. So fortunately, the company we went with gave you a little bus up the hill. So you have the wonderful experience of going down the hill from Brenner. Brenner Pass is one of the culturally significant, historically significant borders in Europe. So if you're really interested in history, there's some really good revolutionary stories about communities rising up against some of the great powers in the times past. And then from there, you get to flavour, coming down through the mountains, through to Lake Garda. You get a flavour of lakes and the luxurious culture along the lakeside of beautiful hotels and lovely swimming places. And then from there, you cycle on through to Verona with its beautiful amphitheatres, very stunning shops, and again, a lot of history, a lot of art and culture. On to Padua, University City, with, again, beautiful food, beautiful square, and I thoroughly recommend spending an evening in the square watching the sun go down. The marbly ground sort of reflects the pinks of the sky, and you've got people chattering until late at night. They only bring out the cafe chairs sort of after 9 o'clock in the evening, and it goes on through to dawn, I guess. We didn't quite make it that far. And then finally you cycle on through orchards and vineyards to arrive in Venice. And I don't think I need to say too much about Venice, but it is really beautiful. And if you get a chance, and if your bank budget allows, I recommend a speedboat out of Venice to the airport, because that is the height of decadence. And if you get a naughty speedboat driver, you'll go very fast and have a great wash behind you, and if you like speed like me, it's pretty fun. So that's the journey. On that route, I said I'd talk about food. So you're starting in Austria, which is quite interesting. I've not really heard much about Austrian food, but schnitzel and knödel are quite special, quite heavy, quite good for the beginning of a long cycle ride in the cold mountains. It's cold for the first few days. But then, of course, you get into Italy, and you get the delicious ice cream, and the culture of aperitivo, which I thought was absolutely delightful. After long cycle rides, I mean, they're not tough. You're a little sweaty at the end of the day, but you have a nice shower, and you go onto the town square, you have a nice Aperol Spritz orange drink in a glass, and maybe a few little ciccinis on the side, and you just chat, and it's lovely, and you're surrounded by very stylish Italians, and you just think, oh, yeah, I wasn't sweaty 2 hours ago covered in dust. Obviously, Venice is a little touristy, and you'll get the usual restaurants shouting pasta, pizza, Wi-Fi at you as you walk past, trying to tempt you in. Not that that's very tempting, but if you get behind into the back streets, there's some amazing little cafes and restaurants that serve beautiful seafood. And if you're lucky, you find the little cafe that serves cecchini in front of the gondola repair yard, which is quite a fun, interesting sight to have your afternoon aperitivo. And then lastly, the feel great factor. So I said, cycling and energy, it's not really what everyone thinks they want to do. They want to do over their summer holiday. They think, I want to unwind, relax. But actually, beautiful sunshine, downhill mostly from the mountains to the sea. Even when it's raining, actually, it's quite fun because it's refreshing and you're cycling quite reasonably hard, so it makes you feel good. And of course, you're cycling, so you feel justified eating mountains of food. And then lastly, you sleep like a log. Every day you've cycled maybe 60 kilometers, 80 kilometers, and you feel good after a couple of drinks and a big meal, and you just plunk out and have beautiful, sweet dreams. And of course, there's no computers, no emails to bother with. You have to just tune out. So, in summary, I think this is a pretty good case for you guys to try out cycling across Italy. There's the journey, there's the food, there's the feel great factor. You come back energized, ready for the rest of the year. And I thoroughly recommend you book today.
Lovely note to finish on. 6.5 minutes. Well done. How was it for you?
I quite liked having my pictures. I think someone said about you talk visually. So yeah, you kind of remember the kind of images of the reflections and just little things. So yeah, I liked having this. I think I was looking at it quite a lot. I don't know if I was doing it too much, but and I felt like I covered my points. Not that they were very global, life-changing, but
Well, actually, good food, having a good time, is thoroughly life-changing. Yeah, that's actually what life's all about.
yeah. So, aside from wholesome work.
Well, a lovely way to finish, actually. Something energetic and lively and entertaining and engaging, and that was tremendous. Let me hear from the others first, before I add my 4 penneth. Go.
I really like that.